Adam, you used the word dangerous, talking about Charlie Kirk was dangerous. And my wife and I talked about this quite a bit. I think he had a big mark on him that unfortunately this person assassinated him. But there are people in this country that wanted Charlie Kirk to fail, to flop. I think that if this had not happened, you would have had people going after looking at their books and this and that, just trying to find something to tarnish this man. And it's just disgusting. It just really is.
And I agree with you, Mark. I mean, if you look at it from their perspective, though, I'm trying to like, okay, why would you want someone dead? Because you're threatened, you're afraid of him. Because when you lose control of the narrative, like they have been, you'll stop at absolutely nothing. I mean, look, they tried to shoot Trump twice as well. It's not the last that we're going to see of it. I mean, sadly, there will be more. Unfortunately, it is because these people on both sides, but mainly on the left, have been told over and over. And actually, Elon Musk tweeted it out, and I retweeted it. It was a child in front of a screen with the media screaming, "They're Nazis," and then the kid goes to school, and the teachers, "They're Nazis," and then it's Nazi, Nazi, fascist, fascist. Which, by the way, these people don't even know what that means.
Exactly.
Their record of history goes back to 1939. If I would imagine that most people wouldn't even be able to tell you when World War II was. But anyways, that's a different point. And so people are like, how could this happen? Well, when you're told, Kamala Harris has repeatedly said Hitler. You have these mainstream media outlets every day comparing them to fascism, Nazi. You have the Time magazine with his face with the mustache, and then you're like, how could this possibly happen? Well, when you tell kids, especially younger people, that someone is a horrible equates them to one of the worst people in history, and then you wonder why they went out and they shot them. Well, because they feel like they were doing the right thing. So when you just are constantly for years fed this garbage and this, if someone doesn't agree with you, they are a racist, a sexist, a misogynist, a homophobe. I mean, blah, 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 blah. It's no wonder why these things happen, because these people truly, their brains are broken. And so, people that are hard to think for themselves and just follow along, when they're fed this information for years, this is what happens. And
yeah, Mark and I were just talking about the word fascist. How most people, I'll bet you 8 out of 10, you could put a microphone into those people that are holding the Trump as a fascist sign and walk up and down and ask them what a fascist is. 8 out of 10 of them wouldn't know. And you know what's even sadder? I would bet you that half of the people in Congress and Senate that are calling them a fascist, they probably don't even know what it means. It's just another one of those trigger words that the left uses, fascist, Nazi, all these things that they want to label people, and it incites violence. So
when it comes down to it, I mean, I've talked about this with a lot of people. Really, like 95% of us are very much like, have the same values, the same, we want to be left alone. We might disagree a little bit about taxes, or we might disagree a little bit about like unions or something like that. But, like my grandfather was a blue collar Democrat. He worked in the union, but they all agreed, like back then, you mentioned like 90% of people agreed on everything. It was just a few issues that they would, hey, I'm going to vote for the left, or I'm going to vote for the right here. But it was always, who's the best person to lead the country? Who's the best person for me? Now it's like, those people are horrible. They're Hitler. They're evil. They're communists. They're this. They're that. And you have that continual underlying hatred, and it's just getting worse.
Yeah.